Now, in the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna show you how I will revamp this resume, Mike Brown's resume, based on the concepts that I promote in the Building a Six-Figure Adjuster resume course. Now, what you have to understand at the very jump is that if you're an independent insurance adjuster, your resume is your primary piece of marketing material. This is a little bit different than just a resume that you would give out if you're getting a W-2 job, a job as an employee somewhere. Okay, this resume needs to stand out because you're gonna submit this resume along with probably 1,000 other people that month. So you need to just ensure that your resume stands out amongst all of them, especially if you have limited or no experience at all. You owe it to yourself to make sure your resume looks phenomenal. Think about if you receive, everybody gets the little menus, right? Little menus for restaurants, right? Pizza restaurants, Chinese restaurants. You get those little menus, right? What do those menus look like to you? They're usually colorful. They're on like a glossy piece of paper. Maybe they have pictures of the food inside of it. They make it that way so that it catches your attention, and you open it and you start looking at the pictures of food and you think, man, I'm kind of hungry. Then you call them up. Now think of that compared to if you were to receive a black and white piece of paper that just has all the food, the titles of the food, how much they cost, and what type of restaurant they are and why they're that type of restaurant. It's not on a black and white piece of paper using Times New Roman font. It's not enticing. If you put that menu next to another menu that's very colorful, that catches your eye, that gets your attention, you tell me which one you're gonna open up first and which one you're probably gonna just assume is better than the other. You're gonna go with that colorful one. So when we're looking at our resume, we can't think any different. So here we are, Mike Brown. Of course, that's not his real name. This is a buddy of mine. We changed some things around for his own privacy. So when I look at this, here's the first thing I think of right here. Now, this line, that's a very important line because they say that the average person, when they read a resume, when they read somebody's resume, they only give it about 7 or 8 seconds. That's the average, right? So there's no way you can properly gauge someone in only 7 or 8 seconds. So the first thing that we need to do is grab their attention. We need to make sure that we go over that 7 or 8 second mark. So this line right here, that line reflects where they're probably gonna get to before we get to that 7 or 8 second mark. So we wanna make sure that everything up here, everything in this area is real snazzy, catches their attention. Okay, what I do like as far as this section goes, I'm gonna go through the pros and I'm gonna go through the cons. So the pro, first thing I notice is his name and where he's from. Mike Brown, Dallas, Texas. It also doesn't hurt that he put independent insurance adjuster right below it, so I know it's relevant to what we need as a company. I'm putting myself in the shoes of an employer, all right, or a claims company in this case. So I know Mike Brown, Dallas, Texas, independent insurance adjuster. So I know his name, I'll remember his name. It's a little bit of a common name, but that's okay, I can't do anything about that. You could throw in middle initial. If you have a common name like that, throw in a middle initial, do something to just kind of differentiate from the masses, right? All right, so, but I know his name, I know where he's at, and I know what he does. So right off the top of my head, if 10 minutes from now I walk away and I'm doing something else and somebody says to me, hey, listen, we got a property claim, or we have an insurance claim over in the Dallas, Texas area. Do we know anybody? I'm like, well, Mike Brown, I think his name was, right? That's why it's very important to have that. When you have the name that's in the same size font as everything else, it gets lost. Your name, that's the biggest part of your brand right there. We talk about that in sales and marketing, the sales and marketing course. That's the biggest part of your brand. You need that to stand out. That's your company name right there. You need that to stand out. And the Dallas, Texas part, you need to know that too, so they can associate you with different areas. So he's got that going. Independent insurance adjuster, they can improve, okay? So the very top, beneath the independent insurance adjuster, he doesn't go directly into his employment history. He does there's like a short opening statement, right? Almost like a cover letter. I don't like cover letters in this industry because it's too much work for the reader, but I like little statements, something to just catch your eye, but they have to be super short. Nobody wants to read a paragraph when they're going through all these resumes. So that's good. He's got something there. We'll get into it in just a moment. Now, as far as pros, other than that, he puts little things up here which also just kind of reinforce what he's looking for before you get to that threshold right here, the 7-second threshold. Beyond that, I think that is, as far as above what we call in the course, the 6-figure course, above the fold, I think that is about the, those are all the pros that I have. But now let's dig a little bit deeper here. So first thing, these little two, the cat or daily, right at the very top, okay, right here. I hate putting that in there. Don't put that in there, because then you're gonna confuse people. Here's why you're gonna confuse them. People that want to look for adjusters to deploy on a cat do not generally want daily adjusters. They want people who they can call and expect them to bounce, to get out of their house and go to a cat site with a moment's notice, right? 24-hour, 48 hours notice. If you're a daily adjuster, at least if you're a steadily working daily adjuster, you can't do that. You got daily claims you got to attend to. So a cat company, they're not going to really consider you if they know that you're a daily adjuster. Flip that around. If you're a daily adjuster, companies don't want to give you claims so that you can have, so that you can become their number one person optimistically. They can give you a bunch of claims. Meanwhile, you got 15 claims open with them, and then the wind kicks up somewhere else, and then another company comes around and they say, hey, do you want to deploy out? We got 100 claims waiting for you. And you're like, yeah, I'm out of here. And then they got to reassign them and figure out what they're going to do. They don't want that. So get rid of that. That doesn't mean when you get them on the phone, you're not going to talk to them and say, hey, listen, I'll do cat for you. I'll do daily with you. I'll do whatever you want to do. That's what you should be doing. Just make yourself an asset to them. But don't put that up there. Don't put that up there right now. Now, willing to travel, again, I don't want to put that up there, because that's something that you should personally use in your selling sales and marketing. That's something you use as a selling point when you're with them over the phone or you're communicating with them through email. Make that seem like it's an exclusive thing. Like, hey, listen, I really like working for you guys. Listen, if you ever need anything, you want me to travel out, I got your back on this. Make it exclusive to them. Putting that up there for everyone to see, that makes it sound like you're a cat adjuster. So get rid of that. You can fill this top part in with something else. E&O. That you carry your own E&O insurance, okay? Fully insured. I have that on my resume. You know what that says? That says you don't have to rely on their E&O. This looks awful. You don't have to rely on their E&O, although they're probably gonna use it anyway, but you're also committed. You have your own insurance. You're committed to this game. You're getting it done. You throw something up there like that, or 10,000, this looks awesome, awful. 10,000 claims worked. Something like that. Like, hey, 10,000 claims work. I know what I'm doing here. Read the rest of this. I know what I'm doing. I've got my own insurance. I'm committed to this game. I'm Mike Brown, Dallas, Texas. All right, this guy might know a thing or two. Maybe we should go on. All right, so independent insurance adjuster. Great. Everybody else that applies to this company is also an independent insurance adjuster. So tell me something new. Adjuster focused on top 5 ranked response time. Something like that. Tell me something great about you right at the get. Something that's gonna say, okay, let me read this part right here, because this guy, he's got the insurance, he's handled a bunch of claims before, he's focused on my response times. That's gonna make my company look good. Let's see what this guy's really got. All right, so let's read. I am energetic, ambitious person who has developed a mature and responsible approach to any task I am presented with. I am excellent in working with others to achieve certain objective on time and with excellence. First things first, let me first point out, and I say this in the 6-figure adjuster resume course, your resume is never done. It is never done. You need to constantly be going through it and looking for little tiny ways to critique it. Now, part of that process includes going through and reading it over and over and over again and thinking objectively to everything that you made, because if you don't do that, somebody else will on your behalf. And right now, that person for Mike Brown is me. So first things first, looking at the work employment history, it looks like he does property claims. I mean, no matter what. So he's going to be expected to write a report. I expect to be able to receive a report from him that I can understand that's well written. I built an entire course just based on report writing for that very reason. Owe it to yourselves to give yourself that edge by being a good writer. And at the very least, in your primary piece of marketing material, making sure that you are free from errors like I am energetic. There should be a comma in there. Who has developed a mature and responsible approach to any task I am, we can make that I'm presented with. I'm, excellent in working with others to achieve certain objectives on time and with excellence. So that's that. So, and in the second sentence, I can already see we also have some more grammatical errors. I'm seeking a position as a independent insurance, that should be an independent field adjuster. That should be lower. Those capitals should be lowercase. It's not a pronoun. I think is the correct way. Correct. That allows me to utilize experience delivering exceptional customer service and meticulous claim evaluation. Period at the end. Little tiny errors like that. Listen, I'm judging you. I'm an employer. I don't want anybody who's going to give me a report back that's like written similar to that. Okay. Even if you're not the greatest of writers, you owe it to yourself to at least make sure. Hire somebody to write it if you have to. But that really doesn't solve the problem. Is you have to be a good writer here. Okay. All that. Now you can make all those corrections and just leave it as it is. But there are two aspects that are being left out that I really, really encourage you to look at. One is the length. It should be a very short sentence, 2 sentence, 3 is pushing it. That's it. Because you don't want to expect the person reading this resume to hang in with you and read all this stuff. 2 to 3 sentences tops. Second part. Now this part is a little bit tricky to really fully understand, and we push this a lot in the 6-Figure Adjuster Resume course. Your message to your prospective clients needs to be a message to them about their pain points, not a message to yourself about what you're looking to do. If I'm a claims company, I don't care what you're looking to do, man. I don't care what you're good at. I don't care what you do. All I care about is what problem you can solve for me today. That's it. I don't care about anything else. Now, what those statements tell me: I'm an energetic person, has developed a mature and responsible approach to any task you're presented with. All right, great, but what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my response times? What does that mean for my clients? Okay, you're not really telling me anything. You're telling me that you think you're good at your job. I'm assuming that you think you're good at your job. So what are you going to do for me there? I'm excellent in working with others to achieve certain objectives on time and with excellence. I don't want you to achieve certain objectives. I want you to achieve whatever I give you on time. I want you to achieve, not even on time, I want you to do it early. And working with others, what is that? It doesn't really do anything for me. You're a field adjuster. I'm sending you out there. Okay, you're gonna do the job on your own. So I don't care about if you're working with others. So slim that whole thing up, 2-3 sentences, make it about them. Don't make it about you. You could say something like, as an ambitious independent adjuster, I take pride in my work. That pride results in top 5 ranked cycle times among claims companies I work with. Tell me why adding you to our company is going to benefit us as a company. You put that on there, now you're continuing to keep my attention, because you're Mike Brown, you're from Dallas, Texas, you're fully insured, this guy's got insurance, he's got tons of claims. I read that little tiny snippet about what he's going to do for me. Okay, well, what else? What else you got for me? So then we go what we call in the course below the fold. Okay, that's where we want to get people, because now we're down here. We want to get people down here. Okay, so now you've got your employment history. All right, your certifications, your adjuster licenses. Okay, adjuster licenses, mess that up. All right, you have some companies jammed in there. So aesthetically, I hate the way it looks. It's very black and white. It's very bland. Space it out. Show that you have an attention to detail and you're a creative mind. That's going to speak volumes to me, even if you don't even have all these companies here. Now, not only that, but what are you doing? So US Cat, okay, is that the name of the company, or are we slimming it up? Because I want to be able to I might want to be able to look this company up. All right, so you did property. What did you do property? Did you inspect properties? Did you do QA work on that? I don't know. You're not telling me anything. Are you even experienced in Xactimate on these property claims? I don't know. What is your Xactimate level? Level. I don't even know. Did you use FileTrack with it? I don't know, because the facts aren't there. We need more. We need more meat and potatoes behind. We need more content. Now, another thing that I hate doing, and I've said this in the course, right? Now, when I look at, even though I squiggle them out, I look at all 8 of those companies that he's worked with. You know what I look at, first of all? Dates. The first thing I see is that you've been adjusting claims, it looks like since March of 2018. So I can already assume that was the first time you did any claims. So I don't know. We kind of want somebody with 3 to 5 years experience, right? So I might just throw this out before I even get a chance to get you on the phone and hear you tell me about how that doesn't matter, because you know your stuff. So get rid of that. In short, in the employment history part, get rid of the dates. make it more aesthetically pleasing. Show your creativity, show your attention to detail. And if you don't have attention to detail, learn to get it, because you need it in this job. If you don't have creativity, that's fine. I'm not much of a creative person either, but find somebody who is, and find somebody that's going to make these improvements for you. Pay for it. Do whatever you got to do. Pay $500, pay $1,000 for it. Doesn't really matter. As long as they can deliver you a quality product that's going to turn your prospective clients into customers, that's what you're looking for. So, certifications: TWIA, USAA, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, Safeco, Eagleview. I don't know, Eagleview's certification. State Farm Pro. Okay, we got the certifications. Do appreciate that the certifications are ranked underneath the experience, because I do feel like because you have that experience, we can actually, because we want to rank them. We talk about this in the six-figure course. We want to rank them based on how they look, and I'm okay with the employment history being up there and the certifications being down below. But the one thing that I would say, change the certifications, the aesthetic value of it. It doesn't look that good. Make it flashy, make it good. Now below that, adjuster licenses. All right, we got the licenses in there. Again, I'm okay with that, it being where it is. You can even get rid of it entirely, depending on what you were looking to do, as long as they know where you're at. So down there, then you have your national producer number. Obviously, that's not that. You really don't need that. I mean, it's just unnecessary. I would just get rid of that. Okay, then you have your contact information here. This is a big one too. All right, so we have name and address, we have the phone number and email. One thing that I would definitely do here, because you should be using your resume and putting it on job boards and everything like that, if you're lucky, if you're doing everything right, it's going to get kicked around and other people are going to end up seeing it. So because of that, I really would not put in any resume your street address. Put your if you live in the Colony, Texas, or somewhere like outside of Dallas, just put down. When you fill out an application, and you need your mailing address, you put down the correct one. For instance, if I'm a company, if I do HR and I'm based out of Michigan and I need to find adjusters that are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you send me your resume, and your resume is in Arlington, it says you're in Arlington, or says, Arlington's not a great example, but maybe like the Colony or somewhere, a low-lying suburb of that, and I see that, I'm gonna need to actually look up that town to see where you are in proximity of Dallas. So just put Dallas, because everybody knows Dallas, right? Okay, there's that. Then you got your phone number and got your email. Now here's the one thing I don't like. I don't like how that's all the way down there. Why did I have to come all the way down to the bottom to figure out how I can get a hold of you? So that should be moved up here. That's a very important piece of information. The Dallas, Texas part, we already got that up there, so we really don't need that. So that's the gist. Now, you make those changes, you might have a lot of white space left on your resume, and that's okay. It's okay to have that, because if you make it too cluttered, people will look at it and they just want to go to the next one. It's too chaotic. So what I did end up doing though, I ended up looking up Mike's CE transcripts. And when I look at the CE transcripts, here's what I see. Earthquake certification. All right, we've got that on there. Adjuster ethics, flame review service. That learning how to do file review, because if that's the case, something for that should be factored into the resume. I want to know that you can review files, that you actually have training for that. Put that in there. Don't let that go to waste. Adjuster prep class, adjuster fundamentals, soil and foundation movement. All these things, you can use them to form little areas in your resume to say that you've taken training in expansive soil and foundation movements, advanced hail. Okay, I want to know this stuff. I want to know how smart you are. But if you're taking this stuff just for some CE credits and then you're letting it go to waste, why let it go to waste, especially if you're paying for it? Advanced property estimating. Yeah, look, 22 hours. 22 hours of advanced property estimation. Put something like that in there. That's valuable. Siding and roofing. Okay, great. Put that in there. More hail damage. Expectations for writing accurate flood claims. Put that at 15 hours. That's a lot of training. That should be factored in somewhere. Flood practices. All right, and more. Add these all up. We got a lot of hours worth of flood training. Writing computer-based repair estimates. Put that in there, man. You gotta put that in there. All right, and that's something that you put at the very top. This is stuff that that maybe you put up in like this area here, or factor in here. The best parts, the best things about you, the most eye-catching things about, that's what you want above the fold. That's what you want to catch their attention and be like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I've got all this great stuff about me. Come on in, scroll down, read more of my resume, because you're gonna love to put me on your team. So that's what I would do here. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna give it to a buddy of mine, and I'm gonna see if we can rework this thing around. So 24 hours and obviously a haircut later, we're done with the resume makeover for Mike Brown. Just to recap, we critiqued Mike's resume using all the concepts that I teach in building a six-figure resume course on Adjuster University. We took Mike's resume and did all we can to grab the viewer's attention before the 7-second threshold and designed it in a way to immediately capture the attention of its viewer. So Mike went from a pretty standard black and white resume to this. This is the resume that he's going to be submitting to independent adjusting companies. God help anyone who's competing against Mike in that same territory. Mike now has a resume, more than just a resume to promote himself. He has a brand. Now when you open Mike's resume, the first things you notice, it's going to be his name and his brand symbol, that MB. I already know this guy's the real deal. Before I can even get distracted from anything else, I see where he's working out of. He's an efficiency-focused independent adjuster. I have his contact information, and check out the little motto at the top: no roof too tall, no distance too far. So this guy isn't afraid of getting on that roof and taking that claim that's a little far out. This guy is absolutely a team player. Now look at the statement beneath that. Your independent adjusters should always take pride in the work they perform for you. Every assignment I receive is handled with meticulous care and are always handled with the highest level of excellence. Providing the highest quality of work product in the least amount of time is my promise to you. Before, Mike was only talking about himself. Now he's talking about what problems he can solve for the independent adjusting company. That's building a six-figure resume 101 right there. That's how you sell your services. Then we have a beautiful listing of clients. We checked out Mike's continuing education credits and found past trainings that would further show that he knows his stuff. I've been pushing our building a six-figure resume course for years now. You're either applying the concepts that I teach or you're falling victim to those who are. This is your number one piece of marketing material. This is what gets you work. Why the hell are you leaving it up to Microsoft Word or your old high school teacher? Building a six-figure resume is on sale on adjusteruniversity.com for $497, but this week, Success Network members can have access to it for only $49. This course teaches you all the concepts that we outlined in this video and then some. Or if you'd like to skip all that and just have your resume done for you, say so in the comments below and we'll work on it right inside of the comments. Previously, we've charged another $497 for this service, but for this week, we'll drop that by half. A full resume replacement for $247. Hail season is right around the corner, and hurricane season isn't too far away either. It's time to get that resume in order. I'll see you next week, adjusters.